constitutes a healthy versus unhealthy food. The FDA has recently updated their protocol for what can be listed on foods, whether a food is healthy or not. According to Reuters, new rules, FDA updates the definition of healthy foods. Packaged foods in the U.S. must follow new rules in order to call themselves healthy. So we're going to dive into this today. I think this is really interesting, my friends. As always, I'm grateful that you're here live. Thanks for hitting that like button if you do enjoy this show. We're going to also dive into any metabolic health related questions. So I see some of you are here now. Grateful that you're all tuned in. Thank you as always for being here. I don't expect too many of you all to be here live because, well, the holidays are upon us. Many of you are doing last minute Christmas shopping and beyond. I want to thank David for being here, Kimberly, Brandon. I would love to know where you're watching this from, if you're enjoying the show and what you think about these new rules. So let's get into it. I'm going to pop out the chat so you all can see, so I can see your comments as we dive into it. So here we go, my friends. All right. So really interesting stuff. You know, I think part of this, we're going to see a lot of change in this next year, of course, because there are people's jobs, I think, are threatened by Jay Bhattacharya being appointed to direct the National Institutes of Health. Then we have RFK, and I know a lot of you are, sort of maybe disappointed at some of the. Some people are they don't like some of RFK's stances on vaccines, for example. But I think it's important to not just focus on that, but to focus on the ideas that, some of the constitute the Make America Healthy Again movement. For example, cleaning up our institutions and ensuring that, there's not this revolving door of people working in, say, the FDA or for the CDC and then going to work for industry and creating loopholes and so forth that enable food and drug companies to have a selective advantage and that harms American health. And so I think it's important here that we look at the FDA's new rules here on what constitutes a healthy food. So I think this is really interesting stuff. So let's get into it. Okay, so the U.S. Food and Drug Administration announces a new definition of healthy food for the first time in 30 years. So we had to wait until obesity rates become, north of 50% in some states. Childhood obesity rates are now north of 20%. We have a chronic disease crisis, and now the Food and Drug Administration is saying, yeah, maybe we shouldn't allow Lunchables to have the healthy logo on them. Okay. So they say, according to the article, the new definition will apply to manufacturers who want to call their food healthy. A healthy symbol is also being developed to help consumers easily spot foods that meet their new parameters. Healthy is a loaded, confusing term when used to describe foods, and the U.S. Food and Drug Administration wants to put an end to that. The organization recently redefined the term as used by food manufacturers for the first time since 1990. All right. Now, let's just pause here. As many of you know, we have a chronic disease epidemic here. It's time that the Food and Drug Administration actually does its job, and that is to help make food more safe for people in the United States of America. And so helping to prevent false advertising so that, parents aren't confused, when they go to buy cereal for their child. One cereal might say heart healthy when it's loaded with sugar. It's really confusing for a lot of people, a lot of parents. Okay. Now they go on and say that today we have a greater understanding of dietary patterns and their efforts and so forth. And so what are the specific guidelines here? This is where things get a little interesting. So let's dive into this one, shall we? Okay, so let me see. I'm on page 35. All right. This, I think, is really interesting. And so this is the new protocol here. And so we can't really call meat healthy. It's legumes. All right, so here's the new guidelines. Here's the U.S. Dietary Guidelines. And so the FDA is going off this updated dietary guidelines, which is really interesting. So let's look at that. Statistics, they talk about heart disease and diabetes and cancer and cardiovascular risk factors and all on and on. And then they talk about healthy foods. This is the roadmap. And they talk about healthy foods for children, healthy foods for adults. Let's go on down. There was some stuff here about, okay, so the U.S. Healthy Style Dietary Pattern for 2,000 calories a day. Let's just look through this. I've looked through this a little bit, but I want to dive in a little bit further here. I think y'all might think this is relatively, interesting. I just updated my PDF viewer here, so give me just a second. Okay, so proteins. We have meats, poultry, eggs, serving ounces per week. 26. Interesting. Seafood, nuts, seeds, oils. 27 grams per day? No way. 27 grams per day of oils? That's insane. What else? Okay, we have fruits, 2 grams per day. This is cups per day. Daily amount of food from each group. Starchy vegetables. Anyway, this is really interesting stuff. I actually will do a full video breakdown of this. Okay. Examples of calories in food choices that are not nutrient dense, and calories in nutrient dense form foods. Okay. All right. Breaded fried cod. This is a healthy food, evidently. Movie style popcorn. All right, my gosh. Okay, so let's look at here. Making nutrient dense choices, one food or beverage at a time. Sodas here. Oh, they have sparkling water. Oh my gosh. Vegetable oil is considered the better option than butter. Are you surprised? Guys, this is our own, remember the committee members, the nutrition committee members are inherently biased. These people, like 19 of 20 of them have some tie to pharma or food. Low sodium black beans. Okay, this is really interesting. So what I wanted to get back to is page 35. And we'll look at the FDA thing here. Dairy and fortified soy alternatives. All right, this is what's interesting. Okay. They talk about protein and things like that. I thought nuts and seeds were going to supplant animal-based protein here. Customizing dietary. So it's really like vegetables are being poised. Okay, so beans, peas, lentils, vegetables are being poised to be the healthiest of all foods, then fruits, then grains, then proteins way down the list. You guys, this is why we have a problem with obesity, is people don't really know what to eat. So, you go at the government, look at these institutions, and they're recommending like protein be at the very bottom of what you consume. And for those of you that have changed your health and lost body fat and improved your metabolic health, you know what you prioritized in your diet was protein. Most people who are muscular, who are lean, who are physically fit, they didn't get that way by eating a ton of vegetables and legumes. They prioritized protein, steak, eggs, fish, chicken, things like that. So this is really interesting here. Yeah, I want to really, oh man, there's so much push for grains. Let's get back. I'm going to get back to this. Let's get back to this list. I think this is crazy these are the updated guidelines. So again, if you're just an average person or you're a doctor, you're going through here, hey, what do I recommend for my patients to eat? Focus on meeting food group needs with nutrient-dense foods and beverages and stay within calorie limits. So again, the first thing you see here is beans, peas, and lentils is a new name for the vegetable subgroup formerly called legumes, peas, and beans. And these are poised to be, they say, higher protein than red meat. So you see here, according to our experts, prioritize vegetables, fruits, then grains. Where's protein foods? Way down the list. Way down the list. Dairy and fortified soy. Oh man, this is rough, guys. I don't know. I'm not trying to be sensational here, but it's really interesting here. Okay. Food safety, oils. Oh, this is good. Check this out. I'm going to highlight this. Oils are important to consider as part of a healthy dietary pattern as they provide essential fats. Commonly consumed oils include canola, corn, olive, peanut, sunflower. I mean, it's incredible here that our supposed health experts, the two oils that they recommend you consume are canola and corn oil. Y'all, what the F? This is weird. This is weird. I don't know. I don't even know what to say. What do you think? This is trippy. Okay, they say oil is important to consider as part of a healthy diet. The fat source in some tropical plants, such as coconut oil, palm oil, corn oil, blah, 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 are not included in the oils category because they contain higher amounts of saturated fat. We're still beating the saturated fat drum. Oh my. Oh, all right. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to move this layer up. Dang, we're still playing that game. I didn't know that we were still doing that. I'm going to move this over here so you guys can see what I'm talking about. This is crazy. What do y'all think? Let me know in the comments. It's kind of funny that we're still talking about saturated fat this whole time. I mean, this is wild. Okay. So as you can see here on the oil section, you can just read this that I'm highlighting right here. As they say, the fat in some tropical plants, such as coconut oil, palm kernel oil, and palm oil, are not included in the category because they contain a higher percentage of saturated fats. Dude, these so-called experts have been trashing saturated fats since the 1950s, guys. And what do we see with heart disease, cancer, and obesity rates? We're promoting all these industrialized seed oils. I mean, look, they say right here, our own experts, the committee members, the two oils they recommend are canola and corn oil and soybean oil. What are we talking about? I know I sound like I'm whining, but this is stupid. This is stupid. Okay. They go on to say strategies to shift intake include cooking with vegetable oil in place of fats high in saturated fat, including butter, shortening lard and coconut oil. However, some foods such as desserts and sweets that are prepared with oils instead of fats high in saturated fat are still high in added sugars. Oh my gosh. This is crazy. Okay. I mean, would we expect anything different? I don't think so. Okay. So added sugars. Let's just get into protein. I'm sure the protein is okay. Here's what the experts recommend for breakfast. Okay, this is the leading nutrition experts in the world giving you advice here. So this is what they say to have for breakfast. So you should have a banana walnut overnight oats. I don't know, but I mean, look, if you're going to the gym right away, you want to put some whey protein in that, have no problem with that. But if you're a sedentary American that walks 3,000 steps per day, probably not going to recommend overnight oats with a banana. If you're obese or overweight, as 70% of US adults are. So probably not a good idea. So for lunch, first of all, we're starting the day off with high carbs and no protein, probably some glyphosate or Roundup, some anti-nutrients from the oats. We got nothing good there. So let's go on down the list. So let's pretend that we did this for a day. We have sweet tea. We have chicken burrito bowl. I don't really have a lot of problems with this. You know, you have some rice there. You have some chicken. It's way better than celery sticks and tilapia. Okay, let's go to dinner. Dinner, not bad. I mean, I guess you have some farm-raised tilapia with some broccoli and some tortellini. It could be worse. It could be worse. All right. Now here's some snacks. Popcorn and some canned fruit. Wow. Okay. This is the best they can come up with. So added sugars. What else do we have? I mean, so far we're talking about maybe 40, 50 grams of protein, right? If you were to eat this way, if you're exercising or moving your body, this is just not enough. This barely hits the RDA of 0.8 grams per kilogram of body weight. So really low. So top sources and average intakes of saturated fat. Oh my gosh, we're still talking about saturated fat. Good grief. Read this, guys. We're still talking about saturated fat. It's like, dude, how many decades do we need to keep talking about saturated fat? My gosh. I mean, how, sorry. Top sources. Okay. Again, here's what we were talking about here. Sorry, this is insane. So going back here, I just want to make sure you guys saw this. So here's, the list of priorities and so forth. Fruits, oils, as I mentioned, the so-called experts are recommending corn and canola oil. This is wild. This is absolutely wild to me. Protein is way down the list. Now, again, here's what the breakfast looks like. Overnight oats and bananas. You got some cheap lettuce, some heavily sprayed peppers, some beans rich in oxalates, and a few pieces of chicken for lunch with some sweet tea. For dinner, you have some farm-raised tilapia with some garbage tortellini and some vegetables, right? Then, so for dinner or snacks, you got popcorn and canned fruit. I mean, it's pretty wild, okay? So, I mean, what do we expect, my friends? I'm not really sure about that, but let's go on down and talk about what the FDA says. So this is the update from the FDA. So let's get into this. I know that's why you're watching this. And again, friends, if you're enjoying the content, I'm grateful that you're here. Thanks for hitting that like button. Merry Christmas to you all. I love connecting with you all. Any questions that are related to metabolic health, let me know in the comment section below. Now, since the holidays are upon us and we know metabolic health is really important, I do just want to let you all know about berberine. Berberine is a natural product that's hand harvested in the Himalayan mountains that has been shown to help support metabolic health and curb eating food cravings. This is one of the few herbal supplements that actually works. There's tons of human clinical studies on this. Something great to consider as you get into the new year and you want to kickstart your intermittent fasting protocol and so forth. The Myoscience berberine, what makes it unique is you got a combination formulation, including not only berberine hydrochloride, but also biotin and alpha-lipoic acid. So there's tons of reviews over at myoscience.com. You can click the link in the description below, check it out. This is a tool that I recommend for a lot of my clients. So definitely get great results from that. So what I do want to do, my friends, if you don't have any questions, is get into this FDA press release here. And I got to move this over a little bit so y'all can see. Okay. 1 second. All right. So you can see that loud and clear. Okay. All right. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration today issued a final rule to update the healthy nutrient recommendations to help consumers. 1 second here. We're going to dive further into this. Okay. I gotta move here so I can see this a little bit better. Okay. The healthy claim can empower consumers by providing a quick signal on food package labels to help consumers identify foundational foods for building healthy dietary patterns. Diet-related chronic disease in the U.S. are the leading causes of death and disability, and many of these chronic diseases are experienced at higher rates by certain racial and ethnic minority groups and those with lower socioeconomic status. Yeah, you know why these racial and ethnic groups and lower socioeconomic status individuals suffer from higher rates of chronic disease? Because they live in food deserts, because the government is subsidizing corn, canola, soybean, sugar, and commodity crops that make junk food cheaper. This is why Black and brown and low income communities suffer disproportionately, because they have access to shit food. Y'all, you know this. So why do our institutions continue to have soda as part of the SNAP program? This is insane. We're giving soda to low-income people. The government is subsidizing that, which is, it's maddening. It's maddening stuff. Okay. The FDA says to bear the healthy claim, a food product needs to contain a certain amount of food. Oh, no shit. A food product needs to have real, wow. Okay, that's good. So we have to have real food. It needs to have a certain amount of food from at least one of the food groups or subgroups, such as fruits, vegetables, fat-free and low-fat dairy, etc. Adhere to specified limits for the following nutrients. Oh my gosh. They're still talking about saturated fat. Dude, this is wild. 50 years. Our health institutions are promoting canola, corn, and soybean oil, but we're still vilifying saturated fat. What in the actual F? Oh my gosh. So the FDA goes on to say, as an example, to include the healthy claim on a package, a cereal needs to contain a certain amount of whole grains. We've been promoting whole grains for 60 freaking years. Have you guys been out in public lately in America? You ever been to Las Vegas? You been to Houston, Texas? Do you think the whole grain push is working? I'm not trying to be a dick. All right, I'm not. It's not working. We need to retool our health measures, guys. This is not working. Obesity rates and overweight rates, the combined prevalence of obesity and overweight is pushing 70%. 93.6% of US adults have poor metabolic health, and we're still pushing whole grains and canola and corn oil. Oh, this is insane. Okay. So, if a packaged food contains saturated fat, like from coconut oil, for example, it can't have the healthy claim on it. Good grief. Good grief. Okay. Nut seeds and higher fat fish, such as salmon, certain oils, and so on, did not qualify for the healthy claim? What the fuck? Wait. All right, so check this out. This is how backwards. Let me just make sure I'm reading this right. Maybe we can read this together. I just want to make sure I don't give you any wrong advice. Okay, this is from the FDA's website. This is FDA.gov. Nuts and seeds, higher fat fish such as salmon, certain oils, and water are examples of foods that did not qualify for the healthy claim before, but are foundational to healthy living, blah, blah, blah. So these foods are now qualified. Okay, good. All right. I didn't read the whole sentence. Okay, good. That's why it's good before you assert anything. You got to read the whole sentence. Okay, so it sounds like before the FDA updated their guidelines, they haven't done this since 1992. 30 years, right? We finally are updating our what's considered a healthy food. And so now salmon is labeled healthy, right? It's not just trail mix. It's not just whole grain foods. All right. Okay, guys. What do you think about this? Let me know in the comment section below, my friends. I'm grateful that you're all here. Merry Christmas. Happy holiday season to all of you. Do we want to further dive into this, or do we just want to take questions? What do you want to do? Please stop yelling. Whoops. So I know, I get excited about this stuff sometimes. I don't know. I don't mean to yell. I'm sorry. I'm not a yelly kind of guy. I'm actually a really calm person, but I get so frustrated, when you see this chronic disease and these really unhealthy people running around, and you realize that our health institutions have been misguiding people, and we're still talking about saturated fat. I'm just sick of talking, people blaming saturated fat while we have seed oils everywhere. Anyway, so this is major news. New York Times, Washington Post, Yahoo, they're all picking up on this story about how the FDA is changing what is considered a healthy food. And I think it's probably for the better. And, there's a lot of pressure at the FDA now in the CDC, with folks like Jay Bhattacharya and RFK and other people, Marty McCary, that are being appointed to, jobs in office and so forth. So it's good. These people are finally doing their freaking jobs. I mean, how bad did it need to get in America before the FDA it wakes up and realizes that our food is screwed up? It would be nice if the farm bill could be reallocate funds, and we're not subsidizing soda for these low-income communities, because there seems to be a major push here towards equity and so forth, and inclusion. And I mean, right here in the FDA, they say diet-related chronic disease is the leading cause of death and illness. And they talk about how it disproportionately affects ethnic minority groups and those with lower socioeconomic status. And the reason why these individuals, generally speaking, have higher rates of chronic disease is because they live in parts of cities that are food deserts. And they can't afford to go to farmers markets or buy half a cow or a quarter of a cow, because, Skittles and Pop-Tarts and all the government subsidized food is way more affordable. They can go to Walgreens and buy Pringles and pretzels and popcorn and soda and with the SNAP dollars. You know what? You know what's crazy? Let's play a little game here. Let's play a little game. Let's check this out. You want to know something totally nuts? Check this out. All right. We're going on Amazon right now. We're going on Amazon, y'all. You know what? SNAP eligible. All right, so this is what we're looking at right here. We're looking at soda. Check this out. Diet Coke. Let's see. So, all right, can you see this? Coca-Cola. Okay. Check this out. This will blow your freaking mind. You can use government. If you're low income, you can use government handouts to buy Pepsi and Coke. God, this is not a joke. This is real stuff. This is real stuff. This is absurd. Did you guys know this? Callie Means shared this the other day. You can use SNAP dollars to buy Pepsi and soda. Let's look at Pringles. You can use SNAP dollars to buy Pringles. This is so stupid. I can't believe your tax dollars. Low-income people can use SNAP eligible Pringles. Sorry, I don't mean to yell. Pringles. This is so dumb. All right, let's look at Pop-Tarts. I'm curious if you can use government subsidized. So if you're low income, let's see if you can buy Pop-Tarts with the government subsidized. Oh, yep. Sure thing. Sure thing, friends, right here. Pop-Tarts, SNAP eligible on Amazon. Okay, let me know in the comments, what do we want to search for? Let me see if we can buy a candy bar. What about M&Ms? See if we can use government subsidized dollars. Oh my gosh. we can use SNAP dollars to buy M&Ms. So hold on. So get this straight. Get this. So in the FDA's press release, they say diet-induced chronic disease disproportionately affects ethnic minority groups and people of low socioeconomic status, for which the government gives SNAP dollars so these people can access food. Yet the food they're able to access is M&Ms, Pepsi, Pop-Tarts, and Pringles. Man, this is absolutely insane. Okay, someone said Little Debbie's in the comments. Who said that? Was that Bill? I'll turn down my volume. But then Little Debbie's. All right, here we go. Little Debbie. I can't. If you can use government dollars to buy. Oh no. All right, I'm gonna not. No way. Okay, check it out. Are we surprised? Are we surprised, guys and girls? You can use SNAP dollars to buy Little Debbie's. Get out. This is totally absurd. This is totally absurd. Whoa. All right, let's look at Uncrustables. Or are they Uncrustable? Oh my gosh. If you can buy Uncrustables. No way. This is SNAP eligible too. Holy crap. So look, our government is subsidizing this junk food, artificially making it cheaper, and are giving low-income ethnic and minority groups handouts to buy this junk food. Yet this is wild. This is wild to me. Wow, I can't even believe this. I don't know. I'm not sure what to say, my friends, but you absolutely do not want to be consuming Little Debbie's. But if you do have cravings for junk food, I just want to give you a quick reminder one more time on the Berberine Fasting Accelerator. This is a natural herb that can help you curb those pesky evening food cravings. What I like about berberine is it helps support gut health, gut microbiome health, and the gut hormones, and it can help elongate your fast. You can take this at the start of your fast, 2 to 3 capsules. Use the code podcast over at myoscience.com. So I want to finish up. You know, some of you complain. I get passionate about this stuff. I'm just sick and tired like you are of seeing so many unhealthy people. And yeah, it's really sad. It's really sad, you know, because a lot of people do trust our health institutions and they're being misguided, and they might see that the government funds this stuff. And so they think it's okay. And they don't know any different. You know, they're not in nutrition related fields. Okay. Any questions here? Any questions? Let me know. There's just a lot of comments. You know what, guys? I'm grateful for all your comments. Thank you for being here. I appreciate your likes, your comments, your shares. Do you like these live sessions? If you do, let me know by hitting that like button. Again, I wish you all a wonderful holiday season. Merry Christmas. It's really fun to connect with you and, you know, talk about these different topics and dive into these, you know, different aspects of health and what we should be doing. Yeah, it's just wild. It's wild. There's a question here on, please look into the effect of electromagnetic frequencies on metabolic health and dysfunction, animal obesity on the rise. Yeah. Question comes in here. Does taking high carbs actually help with creatine uptake? So, I mean, creatine uptake, the way that you, this is, you guys know my conflicts of interest here, but the way to enhance creatine uptake is with electrolytes. And so you can exercise, or if you want to optimize creatine uptake, check out the electrolyte sticks by Myoscience. A lot of people don't realize it, but creatine is best absorbed in the presence of electrolytes. And so that's why I personally formulated these electrolyte sticks. So you get 2.5 grams of Creapure creatine along with sodium, magnesium, and potassium. So a lot of people don't realize this, but creatine, to get creatine into your muscles, you need electrolytes. You need magnesium, potassium, and sodium. And so that's why we put these together in this way. Tons of reviews. These are all authentic reviews, my friends. And so you can check out some of these recent reviews. Tons of great feedback. Here's Anne says, I noticed increased mental sharpness. Michelle says, these are excellent. The unflavored tastes like coconut. Yeah, the unflavored don't taste the best. You know, I do recommend the flavors. This year is from Daniel. Formulation spot on. It works. Myoscience developed a smart formulation. So, you know, if you want to optimize creatine uptake, you want to take the electrolyte sticks because you want to pair electrolytes with creatine during your exercise sessions. That's how you're going to get the best bang for your buck. So great question there. Thank you for asking that question. But going on down the list here. Why does it seem like Black issues are so common today? I'm not sure where that's going here. Heather says, I like yours better than Element. Yeah, the things with Element is it's super expensive for what you get. You get no creatine. It's basically flavored salt, which is very expensive. High intensity health. What's your personal upper limit for magnesium? I don't know, 500 milligrams. You don't need much more than that. Onions are not healthy for everyone. Yeah, some people don't do well with onions. Karen says, I'm 80 years old. I try to eat a diet like my grandparents ate. I love that. I agree. Rick says it's really sad to see people with cancer. Yeah, cancer's on the rise, man. It's really, really sad. Element came back high in metals. Yes, we do third-party testing as well, Colton. So great question. I'd be surprised if they came back with high heavy metals, but I don't know. What do you have to say about vegetable oils? The real shit of the food industry. I have a lot to say about vegetable oils. We've done so many videos on it. I don't know how I'm going to get into it this minute. I'm writing a book on it actually, but yeah, it's problematic. Second Street Marvel. Hey, did you send me an email? Let me know the title of the email. I want to get back to you. Wow, there's so many comments about onions. What's up with the onions in the comment section tonight? Anyway, friends, you know what? It was awesome to connect with you all. Thank you for being here. I wish you all a Merry Christmas. Hope you have a great holiday season. Happy New Year. We're doing the lives on Mondays. Anyway, any questions, let me know. Really care about you all. Thank you so much. And we'll catch you on the next live session. Have a great day. Bye.